Annie's the type to set a house on fire and be confused as to why she's burnt.
Annie, your man is almost 50 and he's running around sleeping with 20-year-olds, making them pregnant. But you want to talk about my husband? Where's the baby? Your husband has kids all over Africa. Where's the baby? Where's the baby?
And this will be the first and the last time you ever try to speak to me that way.
I do not have a girlfriend.
Of course, I cannot tell her all the girls that I'm seeing. I'll be stupid to do that.
I want you to stop questioning my love for you.
What is going on, you guys? Hope everyone is doing well. As you can tell by the title of this video, we are going to be getting into Young Famous African season 3. And you guys, I really enjoyed this season. I think Netflix did a great job. I saw some mixed reviews and feelings online. Some people saying that it was a little bit too extra with all the scenarios and it feeling a little bit less quote unquote real. But I feel like we've established that it's reality TV, guys. It's made to entertain. And without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to be doing this review based on each person in the show, and the first person we're going to be talking about is our girl, the beautiful Fantana. Now you guys, the fits we're giving, she looked amazing, but pink hair at a wedding? The first episode started off with Zari's wedding. If you didn't know, she remarried to Shakib after obviously the last season being centered on her and Diamond's tumultuous co-parenting and relationship issues / struggles. They've been broken up for a really long time, but yeah. But it seems like this season was kicked off with Zari and her new man. I did not know that she remarried, but she looked amazing doing it. Her and Shakib are such a cute pair in my opinion, but Fantana really wanted to show up and show out at that wedding. Pink hair girl, really? Come on. And I asked the same question for her and Diamond. It seems that they were continuing their little fling in this season. Many people were talking about her being a little bit delulu, but it seems like she's not delulu. I feel like she knows what she's doing. She is an aspiring or already an established musician. Diamond has the connections, and it seems that she probably knows the game, okay? Diamond can probably open more doors for her, get her music out there, and yeah, I just feel like she was there for a good time. Her good friend Nadia, the two are very close in this season, tries to warn her about Diamond's ways because we all know Diamond is a top womanizer, okay? He has flings here, there, and everywhere, and Nadia's kind of convinced that Fantana is kind of crazy and delusional over Diamond. I feel like it was obvious that she knew Diamond's game but was just playing along. But Nadia was looking out for our girl, but she still ended up happy and staying in the fling that she has going on with him. There was a little bit of a pregnancy scare earlier on in the season. Glad that she was not pregnant with him, but it seems like she's content in whatever they have going on.
What do you mean?
I think, aren't you dating with Fantana?
Smashing sometimes.
And it seems that Nadia is just letting Fantana do her thing. Which, you know what? Fantana's gonna do her thing. She's gonna do her thing.
Smashing sometimes.
Moving on, we have none other than Annie. Annie really was the star of this season, if I'm being real. She was the quote-unquote villain, the one who was stirring all the trouble within the group. At some point, everybody was tired of her. And if we look at it from now, I think we will understand why, because if we didn't know, it has recently been announced that her and her longtime husband, Innocent, aka Tubaba, are separating.
Nigerian music star Tubaba announces divorce from reality star Annie Adibia, shocking fans. Tubaba took to his Instagram account to announce that he and Annie had been separated for a while and were now heading for a divorce. He followed this up with a post claiming his account had been hacked, but later confirmed that they are indeed heading for Splitsville.
So now it seems like that was probably what was causing her to act very all over the place in this season. She fell out with Swanky, she fell out with Zari, she fell out with Nadia. She was just, and at some point, she even fell out with Ini Edo, who was the guest star in this season. Wow, Annie was just problem number one for everybody at some point.
I am not going to let you allow me send to you. If you were broke, a 20-year-old man will not marry a woman almost old enough to be his mom. Sorry, you just want to fight, so go ahead and enjoy. Can we have a moment of silence, please?
Who died?
Rubbish.
Moment of silence, who died? Wait, you know the thing is, Annie, what do you do? I'm not even done. What do you do?
I don't want to.
The last time I checked, you were an actress 10 years ago, right? Do you have a movie out? Innocent this, innocent that, too, but this year you are two-faced just like your husband, Mrs. Two-Face. Mrs. Two-Face, what do you fucking do? No,
Zari.
Zari is a villain and she stands on business. Annie is a wavering villain. Annie is the type to set a house on fire and be confused as to why she's burnt.
She was kind of looking for trouble. Like, she kind of reminds me of Fantana in the Bibling, if you've watched that Netflix show, which I will review if you guys want me to. She starts issues and then plays victim when things don't go the way that she wants them to. And I definitely understood where Nadia was coming from when she called her out and was like, I'm going through stuff, everyone else is going through stuff. Doesn't mean that you can make that an excuse to take it out on others. Considering what we know now, I'm wishing Annie nothing but the best. It seems like she was probably just going through a lot, and more than us as viewers probably know. Moving on, we have Zari. Zari is my favorite. Like, she's not perfect, but I don't know what it is about her. She just has a very likable vibe about her. But the one person on the cast who was not in Zari's favor was Kefi, I believe that's how you say her name, who was brought on this season, and her and Zari just basically were not getting along. Zari, I think they were on like some sort of safari thingy, and they were in the car, and Zari was asking her about if her wedding was fake or if she had like some sort of fake wedding, and that kind of got to Kefi in some type of way. That made her feel some type of way about Zari, that she's an instigator and that she goes out and finds problems with people. And yeah, Zari held her own down. She kind of called Kefi out. I really feel neutral about the whole thing. Like, you know, I feel like because I don't know the backstory as well. But yeah, when it comes to her and Annie, I definitely feel like Annie was completely out of order for saying that about her husband at the literal wedding, saying that her man is too young for her. Like, oh my god, at the wedding, like, we all have our own feelings about people's relationships, but at the wedding, come on, you could have kept that to yourself. But at the same time, why did she invite Annie? Why did she invite Annie to her wedding? I mean, we all know why they were all at the wedding, for the show, but in theory, why would you invite someone who you do not like to your wedding? Because that I would not. Next we have Swanky, one of my favorites as well. He's so fly, he's always so stylish. Like, Swanky's just a whole vibe and some. Like, he's just fly. And style was always on point. But it was so funny how when Annie was arguing with Zari at that dinner, and then Zari was like, are you just gonna sit there, Swanky, and watch me be disrespected like this? And Swanky was like, after he found out what Annie said about him when she went out on a little lunch date with Fantana. So I was like, yes.
You're gonna sit.
Of course, because you're not going to talk about me and then expect me to defend you. Like, seriously, no. Speaking of Swanky, later on in the episodes when he defended, what was it? Was it Emmy? When Idiodo was arguing with Lewis about the whole surrogacy situation, like, he really held it down for Innie. I feel like because he brought Innie to the group, so he kind of feels like he has a responsibility to like defend her and kind of protect her in these type of situations, because I brought you to this group, so I'm not going to let this group stamp all over you and disappoint you like this. But then at the same time, it kind of makes me feel like because Innie Edo is like this big, you know, this big superstar in of all of Africa, like many people know who she is. She kind of gave like madame vibes, like she is.
Because Innie is a madame. Let me explain to you what a madame is in West Africa. There's a certain persona attached to it, because I think West Africans are quite conservative. So a woman that has like attained a certain standard and is seen like a respectable, influential person in society is expected to like behave in a certain way. Even the way you interact with her.
Expect people to have like respect for her and like to never ever cross her. I feel like that's why Swanky was going so hard for her, and because they were really good friends. In that whole situation, I feel like Lewis overstepped. I just don't understand why he just kept going on about this whole surrogacy thing.
So Lewis was dead wrong and out of pocket for inviting Innie Edo. Lewis has a lot of insensitivity and trivializes the process of having a child via surrogate or anything else tremendously. And
like, just because she did surrogacy doesn't mean she needs to be the spokesperson for surrogacy. I kind of agree with her. Like, I was just like, Lewis was out of order, and I did see some other people who felt sorry for Lewis and that he was being misunderstood, but I felt like he was just doing a little bit too much. Like, we understand you're trying to start a family and we love that and we want you to be happy and start a family, but at the same time, We get it. Like, you didn't have to invite her to that whole thing as well. Like, he invited her to the meeting different women who were the I don't even know what that thing was, but yeah, I kind of understood where Annie was coming from when it came to that. We have Naked and Kaylee. Oh my god, was I annoyed for Kaylee? Like, I was annoyed for Kaylee. But at the same time, I was mad at Kaylee. Like, why is she putting up with this guy who just clearly doesn't know what he wants? Like, the number of times, you know, when he said, then go. If when they asked him, and I can't remember who it was that asked him, but when they asked him, why are you not proposing to Kaylee? Why are you taking so long to decide for Kaylee? He was like, I need to take my time.
Why must there be a rush?
It doesn't have to be a rush, but give me a destination. I don't know where the fuck we're going. Okay, so I don't think you understand that. Like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how I'm getting there.
It's an individual decision. Like, so if you're not ready for it, you're not ready for it.
No. I never said that.
Thank you. So it's fucking. Let me make up my own mind.
But you see, this is being hustled.
Why wouldn't I hustle you though? Like, after 4 years, I still don't have a kid.
And if she isn't ready to take her time, then she can go. When he said she can go, I was like, I'm packing my things and leaving then. Back! Because no.
Then live your life then.
Exactly, that's the response I get.
Then it maybe means I'm not the person for you.
Maybe not.
I think at one point he even insinuated like maybe she's not the one for me because of the whole wedding thing. 4 years together, no ring, I would feel that type of way too. I understood that he was, I think, a second time divorcee. He'd already been married twice and he already has kids. But at the same time, I think 4 years is enough time to know that Kaylee is the one. And Kaylee's so stunning, such a sweet personality. Like, she deserves way better in my opinion. Like, Naked's not a bad guy and all, but the way that he just literally let us know that he isn't confident about who he's with, I would have been left. But they ended up, spoiler alert, they ended up getting engaged at the end. And even the engagement was like kind of forced because she was like, she didn't want to keep on pushing him, which I understood because she wants him to do it on his own. She doesn't want him to propose just because she wants him to. She wants him to do it himself out of his own will. And why did he need, was it someone else? I forgot her name. I forgot, like, he spoke with someone, I think his really good friend. I'll insert the picture and then the name here. Why did you need to speak to her for her to convince you that your woman is the woman for you? Like, oh, the whole thing was off. I didn't even like the proposal at the end. I felt like it was forced. I was hoping that she was going to say no, so we could see where it would go like the next season. And I was hoping that they'd break up. Is that wrong with me? Like, oh, but I love Kaylee. I love Kaylee Spirit. She's so sweet. And yeah, she's one of my favorites too. Moving on to Mr. Diamond. We already touched on him a little bit and his womanizing ways, but he's so funny. Like, I can't believe Netflix managed to get him for like this whole season, because I feel like in the previous season he wasn't in that many episodes, and this season he was just funny. Like, he's so like, he just owns who he is. Like, he's just, I know I'm a womanizer, I know I have many women on my radar, but that's me. I'm Diamond Platinums.
I do not have a girlfriend.
Of course I cannot tell her all the girls that I'm seeing. I'll be stupid to do that. You know, sometimes ladies, you need to give them sweet words. You can't tell them the truth. If you tell them the truth, you'll never make them like you more.
Still feels like, because he has kids with Zari, that window will always be open, is so sad and like annoying. And I just feel like when we would speak to Shakib, he was one way, and then when he would speak in the confessionals, he was a completely different way.
If I want her back, I can have her back. It's just a matter of me doing this.
General.
I feel like he respects Shakib, which is good, because Shakib is technically now your kid's stepdad. But yeah, oh my god, he just owns who he is, and it just makes the show so funny. Like, I hope he comes back for the next season, and I hope they bring in more people too, more personalities. It would be so fun to see. I think that's it. Like, was there anybody else that I missed? I think I spoke about everyone. Let me know what you feel about this season of Young Famous Africa. I really enjoyed it. The show is so good in my opinion. Drop your thoughts down below on each of the characters and each of the people. Let me know who your favorites are. I feel like my favorites are Zari, Kaylee, and Diamond is my guilty favorite. Like, he's just like, I don't know, he's just funny in a way. Like, let me know if you understand where I'm coming from. But yeah, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe for more, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one.